everyone, welcome back to Auburn Clare Beauty. I am so excited today. Not only is today my first YouTube tutorial video for makeup, but it's a tribute. It's a makeup tribute to one of my favorite movies, the 30th anniversary of Billy Crystal in City Slickers. Yes, City Slickers. Love that movie. It stars Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, the late Bruno Kirby, and the late great Jack Palance, who actually won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for this role, which is amazing because it was a very short role in this movie, but phenomenal. Now, for those of you who don't know City Slickers, I'm going to give you a little short synopsis because from the IMDb, because it's super succinct and I tend to like to talk. So for City Slickers, it says, on the verge of turning 40, an unhappy Manhattan yuppie is roped into joining his two friends on a cattle drive in the Southwest. Now, there is so much to that. Now, you might be thinking, I'm telling you now, the comedy is spot on. The writing is excellent. The acting is superb. The movie itself was nominated for Best Motion Picture Musical Comedy for a Golden Globe, and another Golden Globe nomination for Billy Crystal for Best Actor, and of course Jack Palance, his Oscar win, plus he was nominated for a Golden Globe again for Supporting Actor. So I felt, what a great opportunity to say thank you for making such a wonderful movie I've loved for many, many years. It's a heartfelt, warming, speaks to friendship and really what's important to you in life. And really at this time, after everything we've seen in this world, it's a good time to self-reflect and what is important to us. This movie really does it all. It's really as poignant, is as poignant today as it was 30 years ago. So happy anniversary, City Slickers. Now, if you like the content I am making today and you want to see it continue to grow, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell. That really helps this channel out and it helps me out. Also, if you like today's look, but maybe would like to tone it down a little bit for the office, I do have an office-friendly version of this look. Check the link below. I'll have a link there. Also, if you want to see how I did the face makeup and not just the eye look, again, there is a link in the description bar below. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Grab a horse and move them on out. Yeah! All right, let's get started. When I was trying to think of what I wanted to do for this look, I was trying to think of what palette I wanted to use because I wanted to pick up the richness of the colors of the desert, those beautiful golden browns, the red, and then having some pops of color that you see out there. There's a lot of growth out there. There's a lot of plant life that's out there. So I wanted to capture some of the greens and the turquoises and that's out there. The palette that came to mind that I thought was just absolutely perfect was Urban Decay's Naked Wild West. In fact, when I originally saw this palette in the store, I was just mesmerized. I loved it from the get-go. I love the colors. I think they are stunning. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what colors that we're going to be using today. So we're going to take a look at this palette and the colors, and we're actually going to use all the colors in this palette. So starting from left to right, we have Standoff, Spur, Nude, Hold'em, Cowboy Rick, which is my favorite color in the palette. It's this beautiful silvery color with these cooler undertones. Then you have Laredo, Bud, Rustler, Ghost Town, Whiskey, Tex, and Pony Up. And really, you don't have to use this palette. You can just use the color scheme, which is mainly warmer tones, as you see here, with a few shadows with some cooler tones, some blues, some greens, just to give the look a little bit of a pop. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and list these colors down below by their names in the palette and what they would translate to in terms of color. For instance, I'll put Spur down and then I'll list out yellow orange, just so if you have a different palette, you can use similar colors. Let's get started. Now, along with all those colors, we're going to be using a variety of brushes. Now, I'll tell you right now, you may not have all of these brushes. They are a mishmash of brushes I've collected over time. Really, what you're going to need, if you can do this, and if you want to do this and you have minimal brushes, you're going to need a brush that's a fluffier eyelid brush, crease brush right here. This is actually a Morphe. See if I can get that in focus a little bit better. This is a Morphe brush, the M441. I use this all the time, all the time. You're going to need an angled brush like this. This is It Cosmetics. Love this brush. You'll also need another brush that is, the bristles are denser and it has more of a rounded tip, a smaller brush. This again is Morphe, it's an M506. If you have these three alone, you can do this look. That and your fingers. We're going to be using our fingers today. Other brushes I am going to be jumping in and using. I'm going to be using this small little e.l.f. brush right here. Little smudging brush. I have another It Cosmetics fluffy brush right here. This one from It Cosmetics, one of my faves to do the lower lash line. Now, before we go into any color, I want to go ahead and prime my lids. I'm going to use Urban Decay's primer here, the eyeshadow primer Potion in Eden. And in this particular tutorial, will just be doing the one eye, so that's what I'm going to focus on right now. And I use a nice little sponge, see if I can, there we go. Nice little sponge here to blend that out on that eye. Just covering that lid. I have a horrific time with trying to keep shadows from creasing on my lid. I struggle with that all the time. Tried many primers. This is one of the more effective ones. I do like it quite a bit. Now, with the primer, I do go ahead and set that primer and bring it in a little bit closer with just a little bit of powder. And I'm putting just a little bit of powder on the eyelid, just like that. Now I'm going to go into the first color, Standoff. Right, and I'm just going to take that big old brush by It Cosmetics and just swipe that color all over the lid. I just want to put a base down so the other colors can blend easily into this base color. Next, I want to dip into the color Nude. That's going to be my main transition color, and I always put some on my brush, tap off the excess, you'll hear that tap, and then I'm going into the corner right here and then bringing it across. So light hand, low round strokes, and then across, just like that. There we go. And I'm trying to keep this moving upwards, like at an angle like that, so it doesn't draw it downward. So it won't draw that eye downward. Here and then across. Out there in the desert area, I grew up in a high desert in Colorado. Lots of these golden brown tones out there. Super pretty. But along with this brown that's out there, you know, there's lots of stones and rocks and stuff out there that have a multitude of colors and a lot of gray tones. So that's what I'm going to go into next, is I'm actually going to tap into that Laredo, which is nice little grayish color there. And I'm just going to put it right on over that first color. See, just grays it up, darkens it up just a little bit right here. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Something with a little bit of depth on there. You still see the brown in there, but just gives it a little bit more oomph in there. So this is where I am very different from a lot of YouTubers out there, beauty influencers. I use glitter primer for before I put on metallic shadows, because again, my lid just wreaks havoc on these colors and they crease constantly. And I found if I put a glitter primer, glitter glue on here, excuse me, not a primer, glitter glue on here, it really helps. And you want to talk about color payoff, it looks phenomenal. Okay, so I just tapped that glitter glue all over the lid with my fingers. And then I'm going to go into my palette and I'm going to go into the color Hold 'em with the finger. This is where we get the finger paint here. And I'm going to just start pressing that color in. And again, the first place you touch is where it's going to have the most color. So you'll see me bring my finger down, bring it back up. I'm dipping into that color a couple more times because I want to concentrate it all on that lid. Oh my gosh, it's such a pretty color. I love it so much. Good coating of this color right here. There we go. Now we have the lid coated there. So we're going to jump into a little bit of a darker color for the crease now. And this is where that rounded brush comes into play. We're going to dip into the color Ghost Town, which is that beautiful burnt orange color. I'm going to start right in that corner here and then bring it up across. So I'm right in this corner right here, bringing about a third of the way into that gold color we just put on, and then across the top right in this nice little crease area here. Good. When you get to about right here, you see me kind of blending into that corner too, because we want all these colors to kind of blend and work together. And now when you stand back, that crease color gives it some depth right there. But I want to juice up that color just a little bit more. I'm going into Whiskey, which is a little bit darker brown, just going right into this little corner area right here. Again, working upwards. I might bring it just a little bit across, but really want to darken up that area. The thing with this, with any kind of painting, going back and forth. If you're like, oh, that's getting a little too dark, go back in with a lighter color. Oh, it's too light, darken it up. It's yours to play with, go back and forth. So like right now, I'm going back into that nude color. And I'm just going to lighten that up just a little bit back over because we've got a lot of dark going on in there. There we go. Now I'm going to go back into the palette using my finger again, and I'm going to go into Rustler. And I'm just going to go right onto the lid, right, not even halfway, just to give it a little bit of that dark coppery color, right, again, leading into all those matte shades we just put in. Oh, now this is where we're going to get a little bit fun here. I am going to break away for the palette a little bit, and I'm going to use this Wanderlust palette from Flower Cosmetics. There's a color in here that I want to delve into. It's this color right here. This, I call it, it doesn't have a name. I call it like headlight because it's as blinding as a headlight. So then just take a little bit right there. I'm just going to dab it right in the center here and just make that sparkle right in there. Just to kind of boost that color just a little bit right there. We're going to do more with that in just a second. So I wanted to get that in there. Next, I'm going to take my little brush, my little detailing brush right here, go into Bud, and I'm going to just hit that inner corner with Bud and bring it up. I want to get some color right in there. There we go. just to make that pop just a little bit. Get some better light in here so you can see that just a little bit more. Here we go, a little bit more in here. Now, let's play with some color just a little bit more. This is where we're going to use our flat liner brush. We're going to go into the color Text. Right like that. There you go. And then when you get about halfway through, gently bring it on across. You want the biggest concentration of color right up in this area right here, and then gently bring it across like that. The whole idea, especially because I have blue eyes, I want to bring out that blue. It's again in the desert, you have these pops of color, the sage green, brighter green, you have that blue sky that's there. I really want that to pop. And so then I'm going to go into Bud and go right on underneath here and just sparkle that up just a little bit. And you can see here I have this whole inner corner right here we need to work with. So again, I'm going to take my glitter glue and I'm going to go just dab it into this inner corner area because I want this color to stay. So now I'm going to go into that color Bud again and I'm going to bring that out right on around. There we go. Nice, bright, like ba-bam. That's what I'm looking for. Now we can't let that gold be outshined with the blue. I want that beautiful desert colors to really stick out. So again, we're going to have a little bit of a guest star. I'm going to use the Tati Beauty palette right here. And we're going to go into this glitter right here, which is your Soothe glitter. And I'm going to put a little bit of that glitter glue back on that eye. Like that. And I'm going to just dip in and bam. I'm just going over that center. I still want all this other darkness over here. I just want that centerpiece to absolutely sparkle and shine. So at this point, what I want to do is put on a little bit of liner. So I am using the Kat Von D tattoo liner right now in black, and I'm just going across, very gentle right now, just across the base of the lash, right down into the corner. Now then, I'm going to go a little bit above it and bring it across and create a little bit of a wing out here. And then I'll make my way over and finish lining the eye. The key with eyeliner, short strokes. I actually learned that, again, watching a lot of YouTubers, influencers, short strokes. And right up in here. Excuse me, just a little bit further. I am not looking for a tremendously big wing. I just want something that stands out. The last little touch, I'm going to bring that headlight color back into this one more time. But this, I'm just going to give it a little bit of highlight right up top here. Make it shine. I want this to be the sun that's shining down on all this beautiful, beautiful colors of the land out there. You know, they're out there in this high desert area, going through these canyons. The sun's gonna shine down on them. I'm going to finish putting on the mascara, and then we'll call this eye look done. So first, give it a little curl. And then I use two different mascaras because I don't like using false lashes too much. They tend to wreak havoc on my lashes. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. One more little tad bit of color here. Gonna bring out my It Cosmetics, my favorite little It Cosmetics brush. Dip into Nude and Spur. And then I'm gonna go right on underneath here, blending that color out. There we go. So right now I'm using the Anastasia of Beverly Hills Lash Brag in the little mini size that I have. So like I said, I don't use false lashes that much, but what I do use two different mascaras. I have Anastasia of Beverly Hills and I have L'Oreal's Lash Paradise that I'm going to put on top of that. Makes it stand out a bit more. And now the last little thing I want to do to complete this look is I do want to put a little bit of liner on the inner lid, the bottom lid. This is Ulta Beauty Gel Liner in Aqua. So I'm just going to come down here, going to run this along right here just to give it a little bit of color. And there you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the other eye off camera and I'll be right back. Well, here we are. We have both the eyes done, we have the brows done, we have the lips on, and this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed this today. I certainly enjoyed making it with you. And big shout out and congratulations to City Slickers for their 30th anniversary. If you haven't seen the movie, highly recommended. Grab a bowl of popcorn and all the people you love, sit down and have a lovely evening. And again, if you like this look and you want to see how I did the face, link is below for that extended video. Also, if you love this look but you're like, yeah, that's not going to the office this way, link is below for the toned down office friendly version of this look. Again, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time on Auburn Clare Beauty. Thanks so much. We'll see you later.